My theory is that when we intend to publish a story, we forget to write for ourselves. We start writing for others and then are pulled farther away from our creative spark. When we do this, we start writing to others' expectations. We make sure that we've incorporated the tropes and the plot lines that have been seen time and time again because they seem to be what's popular at the moment. But by doing so, we end up with a bland and cookie cutter story. We start to generalize to please as many readers as possible, and along this path, we stop writing what excited us in the first place. So today, I want to convince you to write for yourself first, at least during the first draft. And then we'll think about our readers later. So what happens when you decide to write for yourself first before considering all of the readers in the world? You can connect strongly with your unique writer's voice. Let's think about the types of genres and tropes that are out there right now, that are gaining in popularity. But your tone of voice doesn't fit into that, and you're worried that others won't want to read your writing style. I'd argue that your readers might be craving something new, because after so long reading the same writing style over and over, all of those stories are going to start to blend together. So your unique writer's voice can break that mold. It can engage and excite readers because they want to find something new and refreshing. So instead of trying to recreate the styles that are gaining in popularity and the ones that we see over and over again in the fiction genre, you can provide something new for your audience. Because at the end of the day, when we are excited about what we are writing, the reader can feel that too. When you stop thinking about your readers, at least at the outset of writing your novel, you give yourself the leeway to experiment with different writing styles and tropes. And this breaks your readers' expectations. There are a lot of memes and reels out there that joke about how the forced proximity trope often has those two main love interests coming together and needing to share a bed at the end because there's of course only one bed available. But I have read so many similar scenarios like this, and it is stale. I am craving a new take on forced proximity, and I'm sure many of your readers are as well. Your characters are human. They're not going to follow some expected plot line from point A to point B as if it's a roadmap for their life. When you decide to break that expected trope and instead send your characters down a new, yet still authentic path, your readers get to become active participants in the storytelling process. They are curious. They might not know exactly what's going to happen next now. And so they get to become detectives, trying to put together all of the clues you've leaned into along the way. And when you give yourself the opportunity to experiment with your storytelling skills and new plot lines to break the expectations, your writing skills will improve tenfold, far more than they would if you had followed the same guidelines as usual. So don't stick to the beaten path. Try out a new trope, a new plot line. Let your readers become actively engaged with your story just as you are. If it doesn't work out the first time, well, you always get to revise and try something new, and your story will be fresher for it. The moment that you hesitate to write what you truly want to, for fear what your readers will think, is the moment you lose your creative spark. So write without expectations. Write without worry about not giving your readers what they want. Because what your readers want is a great story, and not a great story in the way of it having zero flaws, but a story that captures their attention and has them be a part of the journey from start to finish. Yes, they may have their favorite genres and tropes, but you aren't writing for every reader out there, just for the right readers. The readers who connect with your unique voice, perspective, and are truly excited to see where your story can take them. Readers can tell when you're holding back, when you've released your authenticity to please everyone. And that will only end in a gray story, a story with no personality, a story that could have been written by anyone. And readers don't want that. Your characters won't shine unless you are willing to take a risk and write what excites you. In his memoir on writing, Stephen King wrote, "Write first with the door closed and edit with the door open." Let's write that first draft just for us. And then, as we get into the editing process, we can start to let the readers in. So use your knowledge, your expertise to write a story that you know is engaging, because you are the one who needs to feel the most proud of what you've created. Now, if you're still worried about what readers might think and all of those expectations continue to flood your mind, I want you to watch this video next. In it, we're going to go through a mindset reset activity. We're going to take a deep look at those worries, try to banish them by looking for solutions and refuting those expectations, and then build a confident writer mindset. So let's start here. Let's start by writing our first draft for ourselves, and then slowly inviting the readers into our storytelling process. Take care and happy writing.